Tom just low-key called himself a genius.
Can we talk about toilets for a second?
I'd love to. Whoever's editing this podcast, we need to get a picture of that bathroom.
Have either of you lent money to someone before?
Yes.
I had a buddy that had surgery. He doesn't work. He doesn't get paid.
I mean, I get emails from people in like other countries that ask me for money.
Tom, what are you doing? It's so loud. Oh, it's your lozenges. Though.
I dropped my Nicorette on my desk.
Okay, it was like so loud. You got to be careful because like it is so. All the things that you do are really loud. So like, don't touch stuff on your desk. I guess.
I won't touch. Okay.
Sit on your hands for this entire episode, okay? All right. Well, we've never really done an intro before, but since it's been ages. Welcome to Questionable Decisions, everyone. Bobby Hoyt, CEO, founder of Millennial Money Man.
Yes.
You want to throw out like a favorite quote?
A favorite quote?
Just anything, like something, like just throw something out there. Putting you on the spot.
I don't even know where to start. Oh my God. A favorite quote.
Come on, money related or not, or like funny. What's your favorite Drake lyric?
He's going to recite the Stonecutters Creed.
I'm not going to
I only love my bed and my mama, like anything.
I think that is my employee dashboard. Whatever you put in my my employee dashboard in Notion, I think it's something like that. I think it's and that is true. Those are the only things I love. I mean, I got a wife and a kid and stuff like that too, but like bed, mom. So yeah, comfort. That's it. Sorry, I was totally unprepared for that. But that's a good way to open.
I mean, it really just came to my head in that moment to ask that question. But now, Tom, you've had a little warning. Tom Harrigan, since we've last spoken, is now like officially on the Millennial Money Man team as a W-2 employee. He is our hype man. That is his job title officially.
Hype man.
And unofficially, he is our web developer. Tom?
Yeah.
Favorite quote? Drake lyric? Anything?
I didn't think about this at all. Like you did your thing with Bobby, and I'm like, oh, it's sunny outside, Yeah. But the last quote that I gave to you like an hour ago was Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility.
That was from Spider-Man.
That is a good one.
Yeah, and then we got into the whole like how Aunt May and Uncle Ben are like so much older than most aunts and uncles.
That is amazing. I mean, that's one of those things like I never thought about it, but when you see him in the movie, it's like they're so much older than
they're in their 80s, and he's a high schooler, right?
Sounds right.
I think so. So yeah, that was definitely something. This is what we spend most of our work days doing. I feel like is solving these kind of mysteries and then hopefully getting a little bit of work done and growing the business.
Tom did Google like, why are they so old? And it sounds like we're not the first people to have like asked that question. So
I still don't have the answer though. I Googled it and I didn't find any answers to be satisfactory.
That's all right.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
I'll introduce myself. Ariel Gardner, head of operations. My favorite quote, Bobby, you said it earlier today. Run this shit like cardio.
Oh yeah. Because I saw that one. Cardi B. Yeah, cardio, Cardi B.
Yeah.
I've always liked that quote. I saw it when you created your own employee dashboard, and it was like, I run this shit like cardio, and you do run it like cardio.
And it's actually not my favorite quote. It's just funny. It seemed appropriate for that.
It seemed right. So this is Questionable Decisions, which, we were on hiatus for a while and now we're back, but it's Questionable Decisions inside of the Money Shop, right? It's like a special episode of the Money Shop, but Questionable Decisions.
I think so. I think we may need to cut this out as we determine how this is being shared with the world, but
I'm pretty sure. Like, we'll see when Frankie's our head of content. I'm pretty sure that like we're just doing a special episode of The Money Shop, which is the podcast that I do where I interview people. But we also have this other podcast, Questionable Decisions. We got a bunch of stuff we want to do, so we're trying to like kind of maybe wrap it all up. But this might get completely cut out. So if you hear what I just said, then it's true. And if you didn't, then you didn't. You'll never know. Okay, I think we lost Ariel.
Mm.
Okay, no,
Sorry,
she's
there was
back.
a lag. I'm back. Yeah, I was also thinking like it could be shared in our free circle community for Millennial Money Man, like a special gift for exclusive content for
Wow.
community members. So there's another option.
Okay, so there's a lot of different things we need to talk about
Yeah.
post
Okay.
filming.
Well, now that we're here, we're all gathered around. We've shared our feelings and concerns about Uncle Ben and Aunt May.
Yeah.
We've shared some quotes. We've pondered how this episode is going to be released to the world. I have a question, just kind of like a opener, cold open. This comes to me because last weekend, my husband Declan, he just planned like the best weekend ever. Like he planned everything all weekend long. We went out for brunch. We went to a record store. We went to a bookstore. We had people over. We went for a hike. We watched a movie. Like it was just like he planned the perfect weekend for me, for us, but I think it was for me because he is a very good person. What would your perfect weekend be? Like, what are you guys doing on your perfect weekend? Okay.
Ooh. And this is like, okay, perfect weekend. We're not traveling anywhere, right? Like,
No,
is this
just like a
kinda
perfect at home chill weekend. What are the things that you have to do? Like for me, I want to go to a bookstore or a yarn store. So we got bookstore in there. That was like checked. Got some, the
Yeah.
brunch was good. Had a mimosa or two. That was great. Hung out with friends. These are all things that I need my perfect weekend. So what is your perfect chill weekend?
Okay, for me, probably wake up and watch cartoons with the kid and the wife, and then
What cartoons are you watching?
whatever he wants right now. Like honestly, it's like if you pick the wrong thing, he's just like no, So right now he's into Spider-Man. Funnily enough, like he's way into Spider-Man right now.
You could ask him
There's
about
this other
his
show
aunt
called
and uncle.
yeah. I'm sure he'll have a great answer. And then he likes Bluey as well, which is actually like a very funny. It's an Australian, I guess, cartoon. It's like a dog family, and they're short. They're like 8 to 10 minutes long, I think. But it's got a lot of adult jokes in it. So it's something that we can all watch. So like we'll sit on the couch. Maybe we go and get donuts or something. He's way into donuts right now, so we might like go get some of that. Sit on the couch, watch cartoons for a little bit, and then probably go to like lunch and a movie with my wife. We've been watching a lot of movies lately, going to the movie theater, and then come home. Probably, I'm gonna say, I don't know, maybe just kind of like hang out until Micah goes to bed. Maybe watch like we've been in, what is that show we're watching right now? Masters of the Air. So it sounds like Saturday's a lot of TV. Being honest here. And then Sunday, wake up. I'm going to the golf course. I'm drinking beers with the boys. We're having a good time. Not getting in too much trouble, but we're having a good time, blowing off some steam. And then usually, like, Coral and I will do like a charcuterie board on Sunday nights, if depending on how tired we are. So like, I'll go to the store, get all the stuff, and then we'll do like a pretty cool charcuterie board thing, and then that's it. And I wake up and hang out with all of you beautiful people on Monday.
Is that really what makes your weekend good, is knowing that Monday's going to come and you're going to get to see all of us?
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
good answer.
100%.
Tom, what about you? I want to hear Tom's best weekend. Like, I would love to make a weekend happen for you the way that you want it to happen too. So I don't know, like I'll call your wife and like
he was like
of all the things Tom has said in the past 48 hours on calls, like that's the thing that made him uncomfortable.
Yeah, dude. Like if we had a real HR department at this company, like he would have been censured or whatever you do to people that say wild stuff.
I frequently say that I'm the most frequently almost fired employee. And if we had an HR department, yeah, it would be.
It's probably true.
Yeah. My weekend, I don't know. I don't really give it thought. With the kids being young, it's such a weird age because it used to be like weekends are for relaxing, but weekends are like full time with the kids now. And it's like during the week is when you get that like relaxation almost during like the work day. Not that the kids aren't great and it's not fun and whatever, but it's just a whole lot different. It's like you are daycare for those 2 days. Weekend would probably start with making breakfast. I tend to batch cook, so like I'll do a whole bunch of French toast and then freeze it and then make it as needed. But what the kids want varies by the minute, so it could be French toast or one of 20 other things that they want in the moment. If it was warm enough, I'd hit up some garage sales, and I think we only
or
have
like
maybe a month left for that weather.
What is it? Not a yard sale or garage sale. When you have estate sale, yeah, that I would have added that to mine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Why do you like estate sales?
Because you get to go in, you get to go into people's houses often and like see the inside of their house. A little bit. Yeah. You don't even have to buy anything.
Sales. So
why?
With estate sales, at least on Long Island, they're very competitive. So like a lot of times you need to sign on a sheet before you enter the house, and there's a line to enter the house. So you need to be there prior to the start of the sale to get a good spot on the line. And then these sales are run by like pros that do these. So they've already gone through all the stuff. They've probably cherry picked some items for themselves and they know what things are worth. So you're not getting a great deal on anything like you would at just a garage sale. So I don't enjoy them as much. I like church sales a lot because then you get a whole lot of stuff and usually it's very good prices, or like fundraising sales for like, Knights of Columbus or something like that. Those are usually pretty good too. Yeah, I'll scout out the garage sales. I'll make a map with my buddy. We'll figure it out based on distance and start time. And like, this is our route. And then the next, few hours we'll go and hit up the garage sales.
Dude, the stuff you spend your time on is so fascinating.
What? Yeah, okay, so that's one day. You've got 2 days in the weekend. You made breakfast like on Saturday. You went. But I mean, like, so what else? What else does your weekend involve? And also, I feel like I should have clarified. Your perfect weekend could be like, say the in-laws take the kids for the weekend, so.
Yeah, I mean, like realistically, my favorite thing would be like my to-do lists just grow infinitely, and I feel like I can never make progress on them. And like house projects where I need to run the table saw, or like tools that are going to make big loud noise. Like I only have a window of time where I can do that stuff between like work and before the kids go to bed. And I was like, kids are sleeping, can't run the table saw, So like being able to bang out stuff where I could like use the tools and make some noise and actually like finish a room or something like that would be great.
Using the table saw.
Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just for some context, Tom is working on a massive project that could change the world. I'm trying to convince him to let me be an early investor, but he hasn't said yes. It might be a Kickstarter project, but it's going to be big news when it drops, and we're going to be a part of that. We'll probably announce it, definitely announce it to the Millennial Money Man audience, probably do a special episode on it. But he's got a learning product that could change the way that children learn things. So
yeah, I'm going to try to bust out my prototype this weekend and play with the kids with it. And we'll see how they like it.
Bro, bust out your prototype is when you're talking about this. It's not good.
The whole, I'm like just trying to find ways to connect, like how do we say, instead of it's dropping, like, I don't know, ways to.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
We don't want to go too far into this inside joke for everybody. So just know that it's going to be very, very spectacular when you see what Tom is working on.
So I used to work at an agency, and we'd frequently, have client calls and whatever. So me and another partner were on a call with the client, and there was something that had to get done. And I'm like, yeah, I can whip that out. And then after the call, he's like, you can't say whip it out. Like that just sounds wrong.
That does sound wrong.
All right. I mean, like in the context, it made sense. I think like I will finish this feature, but whip it out could be, I guess, taken another.
Can be. So it's not just our company that you've been brushing the HR line with for a while. It's other
It's like
companies.
my brain doesn't have time to like filter the output before it gets to you, and
It
then it's
just
like
moves
I
so
say it, and it's
fast.
like, oh no, maybe I could catch that and bring it back, but nope, it's too late. It's out in the world.
Tom just low key called himself a genius. It's like my brain moves too fast for me to catch the things that are coming out of my mouth.
Or my mouth just moves too fast.
I can see that. You are a smart guy, Tom.
Thank you, Bobby.
Okay.
Yep.
Words of
Yeah.
affirmation.
Yep.
Okay.
So some days I do batch cooking. I like batch cooking. Then I feel like I'm good for the week. My kid inhales mac and cheese. Like about 3 boxes a week is what we've landed on. So I'll batch cook 3 boxes of mac and cheese, and then it's ready, and then I can portion it out for like each day of daycare. And that saves me a good like 5 minutes in the morning. Packing the breakfast, lunch things for daycare. Mornings are stressful during the week. It's like I wake up late, and it's like you have this window. Kid 1 has to go to kindergarten at one time. They got to be there, and then the next kid right after. So like the rush to get everybody dressed and packed and all of that.
Yeah, it sounds stressful. Sounds very stressful. Ariel, are you pulling something up? What's going on here? What do you got?
Yeah, I am. So I like had something, and then I was like, do I need something different? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into what I originally had pulled up.
Cool.
Okay. So this is from Reddit's Am I the Asshole? We're familiar with how Am I the Asshole works. People share a story, question their sort of interaction with the other person in the story, and everybody determines whether or not they're an asshole. Okay, so the title of this one is Am I the Asshole? Wasting money on a bathroom and not helping my brother. The post is, my 10th anniversary is coming up and my kids are getting old enough to be a pain in the butt regarding our single bathroom. I have been saving up, and for my 10th anniversary, I am getting a bathroom installed in the basement. I'm going all out, well, as all out as I can afford. I'm getting a 2-person tub with jets, in-floor heating, and a heat lamp so my wife can dry off and stay warm. Anyways, the issue is that like she's not going to stay warm otherwise, but go on. We'll keep moving. Anyways, the issue is that my brother is having money problems. He called me and asked if I could spare any money to help him out. He has a tendency to live beyond his means. We have similar jobs and salaries, but he has a huge house with 3.5 bathrooms. He drives a $150,000 truck that he will never use to tow. Yeah, I don't know what truck he has. I'm curious about that.
Okay.
So he drives this crazy expensive truck that he will never use to tow, haul, or go off-road with. His wife's engagement ring cost as much as my motorcycle. My family lives in a bungalow my wife and I bought. It was built in 1956, and it is cozy for us and 2 kids. But my mom constantly compares our lifestyles. She loves showing people pictures of his Christmas decorations and stuff, and she shares his vacation pictures, that sort of thing. The bathroom budget is $25,000, but it will probably go higher when the contractor starts working. My mom is backing up my brother. She says that I don't spend any money, so I should have some saved to help out family. She is saying he might have to sell his truck or downsize his home. I told her that's not really my problem. He makes a little more than I do, so he should have savings too. She said that he needs to have a big house so he can entertain since he wants to kiss ass all the way up to the ladder. That might just be my interpretation. I don't want to lend him money and watch him waste it and be a disappointment and disappoint my wife. She deserves a bathroom where she can take long baths without the kids or me interrupting to use the toilet. I could cut corners and lend him some money, but I really don't want to do that, even if it means he has to sell his stuff. So the question is this guy the asshole for not wanting to give his brother money and spend money on his own bathroom? I feel like it's an obvious no, he's not an asshole, right?
I don't think he's an asshole. I think the brother is more of an asshole, and it's the brother's fault for like not living within his means. It's like this dude's being responsible, wants to do something for himself, his family. Why does he need to sacrifice that because the brother didn't save his pennies in the piggy bank?
Yes.
Yeah. What's interesting about this one is that the mom seems to be the one that's driving. Like, did the brother actually come to him and like, like, it doesn't sound like the brother's making him feel bad about it and saying like, hey dude, like you're a jerk. It sounds like the mom is applying pressure to try to help out the other brother. So I wonder how that's got to be a weird dynamic.
Yeah, well, and I can't tell either, but what makes me think that maybe the brother has asked is because the poster says my mom is backing him up. So like it sounds like the mom is like supporting his claim to some of his brother's money or something like that.
Did they say what the money is for?
No, they don't say anything other than that the brother is having money problems. Oh, and it does say he called me and asked if I could spare any money to help him out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other factor that I think could or could not make this guy an asshole, is like, depending what it's for. If it's, hospital emergency or something like that, family money is needed for the health and well-being of that family, then yeah, I would sacrifice whatever to help them out.
Yeah.
But if it's like, yo, I really need this new attachment for my $150,000 truck and I can't get it without this, then
Yeah, I agree with that. If it was like something where it's like, I don't know, like his kids like went into the hospital, like if there's some like real serious thing where it's like he just needed money like quick to, or whatever, I agree with that. I think, what kind of truck costs 150,000? I mean, I know that they make cars that cost that much money, but like, what the hell is that? What is he driving? Like,
I mean, the Ford F-150 Lightning is expensive. I don't know if it goes that high, depending on trim options. The Hummer
probably gets to
EV
100.
pickup is over 100.
Yeah, I know the Hummers are expensive. Yeah, those are. I think those can get up to 200 if I remember correctly.
Could be. I think starting is 108 on the Hummer pickup.
That's wild. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, I think it'd be a little. If let's play this out a little bit. The brother sells his truck, downsizes his house, does all the things that he would need to do to just get some liquid cash flow in, and is still having some trouble. I would maybe consider it then, but not before, But I still think it's probably unless it is like that like health related or like some really serious thing. I think it's probably always a bad idea to give your family money.
If the dude's got a nice house too, hopefully he's got some equity in it.
Yeah.
Home equity line of credit. You could take out a 0% APR credit card. All circumstantial, depending on if his credit's good. If he didn't just like buy his house or throw money at something that wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Who knows? But hopefully there are options before you need to liquidate your assets.
Yeah. And is this a give money or a borrow money situation?
Yeah, and I'm looking right now to see if there was anything about that. It sounds like the brother.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just wondering, what are the people saying here? Are the people saying that he's an asshole?
One of the responses is, could be the fact that I desperately want a second bathroom, but not the asshole. All the reasons you cited are additional points for why you're not the asshole, but ultimately, even without any mitigating factors, your savings are yours and you don't owe anyone a loan or a gift, since it sounds like unlikely he'll be able to pay you back. I mean, he was voted as not the asshole for sure.
Can we talk about toilets for a second?
I'd love to.
I mean, we're talking about a big bathroom remodel. They talked about like the heat dryer and stuff, but toilets can be super expensive. There are toilets that you can get there at $8,000 for like luxury toilet, self-cleaning. It like does a super swirly thing when you flush it to clean itself. When you lift the lid, it lights up. Soft closing lid. It probably perfumes you.
Do you have? Oh, you don't have one of these. Okay.
No, I don't. It's like one of those wish list items.
Yeah. So you have a wish list around like a nice toilet? That's so interesting to me. Like, to me, the bathroom is like the thing that I care about the least in my house. Like, I would rather have a nice kitchen or nice anything else, but I don't really care about the bathroom very much.
I remember going over to somebody's. Go ahead. I was just saying, I remember going over to somebody's house for a kid's birthday party, and it was like a very, very modest house, and like definitely like used furniture and stuff, which I mean, that's like what I use. So I no judgment there, but I went into their bathroom and it was shocking. They had like the fancy toilet that had all the controls on the side and like warmed the seat and did all the things that you're talking about. And it was just, it like took me a while to wrap my head around the fact that these people would probably spend however much on a toilet over, I don't know, new furniture. But then it's like, do what you want to spend money on, what you want to spend money on, where that brings you joy. The bathroom brings you joy. Like Tom sounds like, do that.
That does sound like that.
It's a wish list. I have like a whole spreadsheet of things that I would like at some point, and usually I attach milestones to them. Like, need to achieve this before buying this, and like doing a bathroom remodel is probably one of those things within the next 5 years. Everything's like 1954 original, mint green. The tub is mint green, the sink is mint green, the tiles are mint green. So like it could do with an update. I would like the toilet to be super nice, and I would like to get rid of the tub and do like a walk-in with a bench. Basically, as I'm doing stuff to my house, I'm trying to age-proof it so that old Tom doesn't fall and break a hip.
I do want to talk for a second, though, since we've kind of gotten off topic just a little bit.
Sorry.
Like, no. This is interesting to me. Your mint green bathroom. You're not going to get rid of the mint green part, are you?
Oh yeah, that's like
probably.
You are, dude. That is a
what?
I feel like that would be
is all coming back. It's all
Yeah,
coming,
it is
back.
coming back.
And I think this is a like hot take, but I think the things that people are doing to bathrooms right now is like they're making them uglier. Like people are just uglifying their houses, making them generic gray, everything. So you have a mint green bathroom, like keep that.
We'll see. Like, so the sink is mint green too, but there's a crack in the porcelain, right? So like it would be really tough to I don't know, maybe you can repair it, but like usually when you glaze over something it's white. I guess you could tint the glaze or something, but I don't know, haven't looked at that. But the vanity thing that it's in, it's kind of like a Formica vanity. I would like to change that out. The tiles, old. The tub is cool, but like it's my first floor bathroom. It's also currently the only full bathroom in the house. And if I'm trying to like do age improvements to it for myself, I would like that to be a walk-in. Otherwise, I have to step over the tub, and then I'm gonna break my hip. Right? So like, I don't know. It's kind of just like I'm not sure how to age-proof my bathroom while keeping this 1950s tub.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Hopefully, like Frankie or David, whoever's editing this podcast, like we need to get a picture of that bathroom up for everybody to see, because it is straight up out of like the 1950s. Like, but that stuff is coming back though. Like the probably the pinks and the greens and the blues. You know, I think you're going to be in a nice spot if you just leave everything alone.
We had some good friends that did a bathroom remodel recently, and it was like a partial remodel because they've got the pink tile, very 50s, pink and black and white, and they just like they had to redo the floor and then the shower, but they picked tile and colors that match, and it like really complemented the old stuff, which was a neat way to do it too.
Yeah, Apartment Therapy has some great articles here and there of like they show lots of remodels and before and afters. And I saw one that did something similar. I think they had the mint green also, and it's like what they did to accentuate it, and like they kept the original green tiling that was there, but added an accent tile toward the top of it that made it kind of pop nicely, and kept some other elements of it. So it was really nice, and I think it can be done. But like, there's so many projects in this house, and I try to keep the original elements where I can. Like when I ripped the kitchen down to the studs, right? But I kept all the original cabinetry. I kept the original countertops and refinished those. So like I keep them where I can, but there are some things that's just like this is in need of an upgrade, and is keeping the old aesthetic worth it to be able to like have what we want. So like there's a 1950s bar in the basement that stays, that I'll keep. Certain doorways are like angled, and I'll keep those architectural elements, even though like they might be dated. But those type of things take more craftsmanship to create. And like the bathrooms, I think that type of detail will, come back in style over time as people keep moving away from the ultra minimalism that I think we saw during the COVID lockdown period.
Yeah. Okay, I want to bring us back to our questionable decision, though, and kind of like wrap up some thoughts. I mean, not that I don't love talking about interior design. Like, I really do. This is why I like estate sales also. Go in people's houses and see what, they look like.
Kind of bathroom they have.
I do love looking at, especially the old ones that are around here. They're great. But, okay, so I think my gut reaction when I hear something like this is like, I just want to tell that brother who's asking for the money to like F off. Like, you've bought this crazy ass truck. You clearly are spending outside of your means. Like, I don't want to help you. I would say all those things internally and then probably like help them and be upset about it later maybe, or maybe I'd feel good. But what I'm wondering though is, when do you draw the line? Like, say this is an emergency, like a health emergency for, their a child or themselves or something like that, and you're helping out with that. But when do you say, if something like this comes up again, do you help again? Like, at some point they have to sort of take control and ownership over the decisions that they are making. So do you do it once with the stipulation of like, I can't do this again, but what if it's worse next time? Like, I don't know. How would you guys handle drawing that line and those conversations?
I think after hearing Tom talk about what he would do, I think I would probably go down the route of like trying to help them figure out how they can free up cash from their existing assets. Like, I think I would start there. And then if you really can't do it, like to me, if it's like their kid, I would have a soft spot for that. I would be like, all right, I'll help you out. And I would probably say like, but I can't do this again. Maybe. If it's not for anything that's like health related or very serious, I just probably wouldn't do it. I'd just be like, look, I'm sorry, I can't, but I can help you try to figure it out.
If it were an emergency, I would front the money with the stipulation, like, we're going to do a financial audit here, like Caleb Hammer style, And it's like, let's look at your stuff and like figure out what we can improve so that this doesn't happen again.
Mm-hmm. But also, okay, going back to the health emergency, I don't really know what kind of emergency that they would be in. Like, the hospital sends you a bill. They're not like, give me a card up front to pay for this $10,000 surgery. So
maybe not health. Let's say it's not a $150,000 pickup truck, but like car breaks down, car is needed for work or other necessary transport stuff just to, move through life, or for whatever reason, not able to make the mortgage payment or something like that. So something crazy where like it does matter and there is time attached to like making the payment on time. Mm-hmm. In those cases, I would front the money. Yeah. But with like hospital bills, it seems like you could let those go to collections.
That's true.
They could take the rest of your life to try to get it from you.
Well, or you just pay like a minimum. I mean, there are no interest payments, sort of
right,
a thing.
You work
like,
it out.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Maybe I don't know. For some reason, just the heartstring part of it made me feel like, I would totally help in that situation. But you're right. It's like, you don't need to do that. I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot of situations where, I think that the common advice is like, don't lend money to family. Don't give money to your family. That's kind of how I feel about it. And I don't think I would ever ask my family. There's so many different ways to get money, which sounds bad, but like, if you really need money, there's a lot of different ways you can come up with it, especially if you own a house, you have assets. Like, none of them are like fun, great ways to do it, but I just don't think you go to your family for things like that.
Yeah. And I think that, again, I think in this situation, if I was able to lend somebody money, I probably would. That is, I think, where I would go. But I also do think that, like, just thinking about in my life, when I've decided to make financial changes, it's because I've felt some pain around needing to make a change. And it's like, is the brother and the mom just enabling the other brothers like behavior?
So your internet was garbage for a second.
Do you guys miss this on these, that my internet is bad for a few minutes? Probably not. No, I was just going to say, like, it's, feeling that pain. I think I've been in a situation where I've had to feel some pain or have felt pain. And that's been like the catalyst to making a change. But the mom and the brother, if the brother does lend him money, they're just enabling him like never to have to do that. So is maybe the helpful thing. Maybe it is what Tom's saying. We're going to do a financial audit and help you. But is the real change going to come from him experiencing some, painful financial lesson? I
Good
don't
point.
know.
Have either of you lent money to someone before?
Yes. Family.
How was that experience?
I don't think I have.
It was fine. It was fine. It was, interestingly enough, it was somebody who lent us money when we were in a bad spot early on in our, having kids and being married and everything. And we paid them back. And then years later, they needed us to lend them money. And we did. And it was fine. It was, I think because it was fine. And there was like no question of like whether or not we would. It was just like, oh yeah, obviously. And I don't think that had they not initially lent us money, I think we would have had the same gut response of like, we'll help you out. And there wasn't even a like, here's why we need you to lend us money. They just asked, and it was like somebody that we trusted, that we knew that they weren't like, it wasn't like gambling debt or something like that, or they weren't going to go use it to buy crap. It was a needed loan, and it went fine. So what about you, Tom?
I had a buddy that had surgery, and it put him out of being able to work. He works for himself, so like he doesn't work, he doesn't get paid. So that put him up for a few months of not being able to lift stuff, do what he needs to do. So we had a talk, give him what he needed, cover whatever payments, bills, car, that type of stuff for a period of time. And I was like, look, this is a 0% loan with a 10-year payback period. Basically, like, I don't want you to stress about this. Like, you do what you need to do to take care of your family, and like, I'll get it back when you're able to. He ended up paying it back within like less than a year. Like, he was motivated, doesn't like the idea of being indebted to somebody. It was like a necessary thing. So like, I didn't really. There were times where it's like, I could give you this much. I'm like, it's okay. If you need it for something else, take care of your stuff. We will get to it when we get to it.
It's
Not
very
every
nice of you, Tom.
situation would be like that, but like, good
Yeah.
friends, good guy, trusted each other, that type
Right.
of thing. So
Yeah, I've never done it, but I don't think I've ever had anybody ask. To be honest, like I haven't been in that situation. So, knock on wood. I don't want to be.
Which is kind of surprising. I feel like when you put yourself out there as like somebody who owns a business, and I mean, you've shared income reports and stuff before, like.
Yeah, but I haven't. I'm trying to think of like if I've ever had any. I mean, I get emails from people in like other countries that ask me for money,
but nobody in your personal life.
No, I don't think so. And I think it actually, interestingly enough, like doing the income reports and putting out how the business does and all that, which I don't do as much anymore, but it actually creates the opposite effect where people feel bad when you pay for dinners or bad when you buy things. At least in my family and my friend circles, like they kind of feel like weird about it, so it's like almost like hard to actually pay for a dinner for someone. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, I definitely haven't had, like, you see like NFL players and you see a lot of stories about how their families, like almost like this mom in the story, like expect that they take care of the family. Like my family has never been like that. So I don't really know what that comes from, but that would be hard. That would be really difficult if you have like a bunch of your family that's like, because I was thinking like kind of shame on the mom. The mom shouldn't be putting this kind of pressure on him.
I know.
Like,
I think the mom is really the asshole actually here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, it's like no, you can't put pressure. Like you can't use your status as a parent to put pressure on a kid to do something like that. Like, I think that's just like a very toxic trait. So I don't even know this lady. I don't like her, but that's just tough. It's like, you can't, it's not like if one person in the family makes money, it's not the entire family's money. It doesn't make any sense to me.
it seems very frequent that the financial views of the parents become the financial views of the children. We don't really teach financial literacy in schools or anything like that. So like usually you learn from your parents, and it could be, I don't want to like, cast on the parent what the brother is acting like, but it could be just as likely that the parents live the same way that that brother does in like living beyond their means and that type of stuff. And they see that there's money that could be accessible elsewhere, and they feel entitled to being able to access it. Not saying it's right, but it could be a learned behavior.
Well, and there's clearly there's some relationship stuff that we don't know a ton about, and we're getting hints of, like, when the person who posted this
Ariel and that
saying,
garbage Missouri internet.
Oh, did it do it again? Is it good? Is it okay? Tell me when it's good.
We got to get you out of St.
now?
Louis. We got to get you out of St. Louis.
Hell no.
Like,
what
the
else
cost
do
of
we have?
living
Do we
is
have
cheap
another
here,
one?
but the internet doesn't work.
Another one? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can't.
I feel like
okay.
we've talked about this dude and his brother for a while now.
I was just gonna. Oh, you want to talk about something else? I was gonna wrap it up.
She was gonna wrap it.
We're finished.
Okay.
I don't know how to wrap this up anymore, Tom. I think you did a pretty good job. Are we going to talk about something else? I'm done with this.
That was like watching. That was watching ADHD in real time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like other conversation topics would interest me more now.
I'm finished. Moving on. All right. Okay, so I'll wrap this up. So in close, the mom is the asshole.
Yeah, 100%.
And the original poster is a good person who's trying to take care of his family. The fact that he's asking this, I think, shows that he's got a good heart and likes to be generous and is conflicted about it. The brother needs to get his shit in order.
He's got to get it. Yeah, he's got to get rid of that truck. He's got to get rid of it.
Yeah, he's got to get
that. I'm going to go spec out pickups now and see how I can find something that costs $150,000.
How do we get to 150? I think you can get one of those Ford Raptors to 150. I think you could do it.
Yeah, like even an F-350 starts at like $50,000.
Yeah.
You just want to talk about trucks now, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Now I'm interested. It's like, how do you spec up the trims to have like a useful $150,000 truck? And it's like a heavy duty truck you could get for $50,000.
Dude, I would feel sick to my stomach after getting a $150,000 car, especially if I had like a car note on it. I don't know. That's a lot for a freaking car. I mean, I know that's some people are into cars, but like, man, that's crazy.
If I had the money to spend, I don't know how much money I would have to feel comfortable spending $150,000 on a car, but if I am ever in that situation, I would take great pride in spending $150,000 on a car.
Yeah, I guess
a nice old like something, or I don't know, a cool.
I just feel like
G-Wagon.
Yeah, talk to me in 15 years. Maybe I have a different opinion on it, but it's just like if I had a car payment on a $150,000 car, my goodness, I would hate every month when that came in. I would just feel sick.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably be around 6% right now to get and that would be probably $2,000 or more.
That's
depending on the length.
Jeez.
Yeah, I've never paid more than $10,000 for a car. I don't know if I've ever paid more than $8,500 for a car.
That's on the other end of the extreme. That's pretty cool. That's
Tom, same. I've never. Well, no, we paid $10,000 for my car, just about. So, yep.
Yeah, like I have a truck. It's got a crew cab. It's a short bed. It's like 5.5 feet long. I think I paid around $8,000 for it, within $1,000 or $2,000 of that, and that was like right before COVID. So like right before used car prices tremendously inflated, but like it was a great car, and I still use it. Could fit the kids in it. The car seats can make my trips to Lowe's super convenient. To get the same utility out of $8,000 as, I mean, this guy's getting less utility out of his $150,000 truck.
Yeah, he won't even tow anything with it. He won't off-road with it.
My wife's car broke down a month ago, and I was able to get a rope, get a hitch on the back of my truck, and tow it back home. Super useful.
Yeah,
All right.
I drove a $6,000 car for a very long time, and then even still, both of our cars are used cars that we paid cash for. So I don't know that I have a lot of friends that are trying to talk me into the lease thing, like the business lease thing, and I don't know. I see the argument for it, but I don't want to do it. I know you're trying to wrap up, Ariel. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Keep talking about cars.
We can do that. Like, we do a whole nother episode on cars, probably.
We could do a whole other
just
episode
having
on
a
cars.
car payment period would kind of stress me out.
Yeah, it would stress me out. I sleep very well at night, not having to have any car payments.
Yeah.
All right, homies. Thank you for joining this episode of Questionable Decisions.
Questionable Decisions is back. I'm excited.
Tom, Bobby, thank you. If you want to email us with a questionable decision, hello@millennialmoneyman.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Millennial Moneyman. You can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, Millennial Moneyman. We're everywhere, really. YouTube, Millennial Moneyman. We're in your dreams. We're around the corner.
I'm sure some part of this will get clipped up, and it'll be Ariel talking about something, and it'll go viral, and then they'll clip something of me or Tom, and it'll get 100 views.
I don't have red hair anymore. It only worked when I had red hair. So if they just put the image on this with the thumbnail with red hair, then we'll be good.
Then it'll work.
And viral. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Talk soon. Bye. You want to hit not record?
No, I wanted to get those awkward buys in first. All right, here we go.
Okay.